It was 11:47 p.m. on a humid August night when Maria's Honda Civic sputtered to a stop, right there on the train tracks. The exact spot where tragedy had claimed innocent lives decades before. Maria fumbled for her phone, panic rising in her throat. No signal. The railroad crossing on Shane Road sits in a dead zone, isolated from the bustling heart of San Antonio just miles away. She could hear the distant rumble of an approaching freight train, its whistle cutting through the thick Texas air. That's when she felt them. Small hands pressing against the rear bumper of her car. The vehicle lurched forward, rolling off the tracks just as the massive locomotive thundered past. When Maria turned around, she saw nothing but empty darkness. But she wasn't alone. She'd just encountered the ghost children of San Antonio. The legend begins in the 1930s, though some locals insist it was the 1940s. A school bus filled with children was making its regular route home when it stalled on the railroad tracks near Villamain Road and Shane Road, just south of downtown San Antonio. The driver tried desperately to restart the engine, but the old bus wouldn't budge. Witnesses from nearby houses heard the children screaming as the train approached. Some say there were 10 children on that bus. Others claim it was 20. The exact number has been lost to time, but what everyone agrees on is the horror of what happened next. The train couldn't stop in time. The impact was devastating, claiming the lives of every child aboard. Their small bodies were scattered along the tracks, their dreams and futures extinguished in an instant of twisted metal and shattered glass. In the days that followed, the community mourned. Flowers were placed along the tracks. Families wept. The city promised better safety measures. But something else happened in those dark hours after the tragedy. Something that would transform this site from a place of sorrow into something far more mysterious. Drivers began reporting strange occurrences at that very crossing. Cars that stalled on the tracks would mysteriously roll to safety. Always just in time. Always just before an oncoming train. And those who looked back often glimpsed small figures in the darkness, children's silhouettes that vanished the moment you tried to focus on them. Jennifer Rodriguez experienced this firsthand in 2019. She was driving home from her late shift at Methodist Hospital when her Toyota Camry died right on the tracks. "I heard the train horn in the distance," she recalls. "I was terrified. I couldn't get the car to start, and I couldn't push it myself." Then she felt it. Gentle pressure against the back of her car. Multiple points of contact, as if several people were pushing together. The car began rolling forward, gaining momentum until it cleared the tracks completely. "When I got out to thank whoever helped me, there was nobody there," Jennifer says. "But I swear I could smell something sweet in the air, like the bubble gum kids used to chew." The phenomenon isn't limited to mechanical failures. In 2021, David Chen was testing the legend with friends, deliberately parking his Jeep on the tracks. "We thought it was all nonsense," he admits. "Urban legend stuff. But when we put the car in neutral and waited, it started moving. Slow at first, then faster. We all felt hands on the bumper, but when we looked, nothing was there." What makes David's account particularly compelling is the evidence he captured. His phone recorded handprints in the dust on his rear bumper. Small handprints, child-sized. The prints remained visible for days despite rain and wind that should have washed them away. Local paranormal investigators have documented temperature drops of up to 15 degrees at the crossing. Electronic equipment malfunctions regularly. Cameras capture orbs of light that move with purpose, not the random floating typical of dust particles or moisture. Dr. Sarah Martinez, a folklore professor at the University of Texas at San Antonio, has studied the legend extensively. What's fascinating about the ghost children's story is how consistent the reports are, she explains. Across decades, across different demographic groups, people describe the same experience. Gentle pushing, the sense of children's presence, and always the successful rescue from danger. But the legend has evolved with modern times. Social media has amplified the story, drawing curiosity seekers from across Texas and beyond. TikTok videos showing cars being pushed by invisible forces have garnered millions of views. Instagram posts tagged with location markers flood the site with ghost hunters and thrill seekers. This increased attention has led to more documented encounters. In March 2023, a group of college students live-streamed their visit to the crossing. Their Ford Explorer stalled naturally when the alternator failed. On the live video, viewers watched the car roll to safety while the students screamed in amazement. The stream captured what sounds like children's laughter in the background audio. Local resident Carmen Valdez has lived near the crossing for 30 years. She's witnessed the phenomenon countless times from her front porch. "It's not scary," she insists. "These children, they're protecting people. They don't want anyone else to suffer what they suffered. It's beautiful, in a sad way." Carmen describes seeing small figures playing near the tracks during full moons. "They look happy," she says. "Like they're still just kids, you know? Sometimes I leave toys by the fence. They're always gone by morning." The city of San Antonio has never officially acknowledged the legend, but they've made interesting infrastructure changes over the years. Warning lights were upgraded multiple times. The crossing signal system was enhanced with backup power sources. Some locals believe the city knows more than they're willing to admit. Former railroad employee Miguel Santos worked this section of track for 25 years before retiring in 2018. He's seen things that defy explanation. "Train engineers report seeing children on the tracks," he reveals. "They slam the brakes thinking they're going to hit someone. But when they stop and check, there's nobody there. It happens more often than the company wants to admit." Miguel also describes maintenance anomalies. Equipment would move overnight. Tools would be arranged in patterns. We'd find small footprints in the gravel between the rails. Management told us not to talk about it, but we all knew something was going on. The legend has attracted scientific scrutiny as well. Electromagnetic field detectors show unusual readings at the crossing. Seismic equipment picks up vibrations that don't correspond to train schedules or vehicle traffic. Thermal imaging cameras capture heat signatures that appear child-sized but vanish when approached. Dr. James Fletcher, a physicist from Trinity University, spent 6 months studying the site. "There are definitely unexplained phenomena occurring here," he concluded. "Whether supernatural or some unknown natural process, something is causing measurable effects on the environment and on vehicles." But perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from the children themselves. Modern visitors often report hearing voices, young voices speaking Spanish and English, sometimes calling out warnings about approaching trains. These voices are frequently captured on audio recordings, though they're never heard with the naked ear during the actual experience. One recording from 2022 clearly contains a child's voice saying, "Move your car, mister. Train's coming." The warning came 30 seconds before a freight train rounded the bend, giving the driver just enough time to restart his stalled engine and clear the tracks. The ghost children of San Antonio represent more than just a spooky story. They embody the idea that love transcends death, that tragedy can transform into protection. These spectral children, forever young, forever vigilant, continue their eternal watch over the crossing where their lives ended. Visitors today still experience the phenomenon. Cars still stall mysteriously on those tracks, and invisible hands still push them to safety just in time. The children's work isn't finished. Their vigil continues, night after night, protecting strangers from sharing their fate. So the next time you're driving through San Antonio late at night and your car starts acting strangely near those railroad tracks, remember the ghost children. Listen for their whispers in the wind. Feel for their gentle touch guiding you to safety. And maybe, just maybe, you'll understand that some spirits never rest because their love never dies.